What's up, homegirls? ¿Qué onda, morras? Buenos días, tardes, o noches, since I don't know when you're listening to this. I hope your day is going good, or at least better than yesterday. Welcome to Te Crees Muy Muy, the podcast para las homegirls who are healing, growing, and figuring life out, sin plan, con flow. I'm your host, aka your Chicana homegirl from Cali, Stephanie, and as always, muchísimas gracias for pressing play and hanging out with me. And your reminder of the day, morra, el tren no se fue, tú vales oro, no migajas. Agárrate las pestañas y vámonos. Now, let's get into it. What's up, morras? What's up, homegirls? ¿Qué huele? ¿Cómo están? Anyways, happy Monday or whatever day you're listening to this. Welcome, bienvenidas. This is episode 10 of the Crees Muy Muy podcast. It means a lot to me. Thank you so much for stopping by. So get ready, porque in this episode, I'm freestyling a bit, but with the guide because I don't want to ramble. This episode is about job hunting and what you can do, and in my humble ass opinion, to reduce the frustration and emotional stress that comes with it, right? I'm going to share some tips and real talk from my experience to hopefully make this process a bit easier for you. So let me go ahead and get into it real quick. I've been in the staffing industry off and on for about, give or take, 10 years, right? And I've also been on the job search myself recently. So ahorita la posición donde estoy is through an agency, and I'm going to be at this place where I'm working probably another month or two, but I think probably until like the middle of, I want to say probably March total, or not unless que algo pase, right? So anyways, I stayed at my last job because of my coworkers. La pura neta, that's it. I learned a lot, and I know that I'm never going to be able to replicate those coworkers ever again. I worked hard, I went above and beyond, and I tried to hit my KPIs cuando podía, but sometimes it was hard, y'all. Sometimes I did hit them, sometimes I wouldn't. So ahí les va. These rules that I created for myself I'm going to share with them, so hopefully les ayudan to emotionally detach cuando estén aplicando for jobs, y'all. Because at the end of the day, you need to detach from jobs that don't even belong to you yet or at all. Okay, ahí les va. And I say that knowing that just because I practice them doesn't mean that things will go my way. Obvio, I can't control the company, the process, the recruiters, the hiring managers, people making decisions. I can only control myself, what I say and do and act, in a sense. Y es todo, right? Right now, the job market is hella rough. There are layoffs. The competition is heavy. I fake job postings, low-paying jobs with high expectations, ridiculous requirements, como for an office job, 5 years experience, a master's degree, paying $19. Get the fuck out of here. Be so fucking for real, right? And a lot of ghosting, which I have a story about that a little later. And also too, a lot of people that used to be remote or hybrid now having to go back to the office or relocate to where they used to work, right? Or encontrarse un nuevo trabajo, just period, right? And it's no wonder that people feel like hella stressed out and defeated, because as we know, it's easier, to find a job when you have a job, right? We're in what's called an employer's market, okay? Which that means that companies have the upper hand. They're kind of in control, real talk. They have more candidates than open roles, so they can be pickier. It doesn't mean you're not qualified. It just means that the system is crowded and it's messy. Some say even broken, that we need to restart. But here's the part I want y'all to realize and hear me, okay? Escúchenme. Porfa, please. None of that is in your control. Once again, none of that is in your control. You cannot control the layoffs, right? And I say that because I got laid off 3 times. Hiring freezes, or whoever they pick for the job, right? So, ahí les va. Why are you stressing over things you cannot control? I know it's easier said than done, but it's doable. Trust me. If my ass can do it, tú también puedes. And that's exactly why I wanted to record this episode, because online, see, I really good information that people are giving you guys for free. I know que hay gente que cobra and a whole bunch of stuff, que el ATS system, que el resume, esto y que el otro. There's a lot, but a lot of people I feel don't talk about this. And 2 things can be true at once before you guys start to attack me. This works for me and it may not work for you. Okay, and that's okay. Pero les quiero echar la mano, okay? So ahí les va. The first one. It's super simple. Click, apply, and detach. Yes, I mean that. Apply, then let it go. Suéltalo. If you need to create a profile to track your application, that's fine. Do it, but only check that shit one time a week. No more than that. There's no reason for you to be checking that shit every single day. Why are you checking that every day? Y'all, there's recruiters out there que no tienen tiempo to be updating the candidate status online. Should they? Yeah, it would be helpful, pero no tienen tiempo sometimes, y'all. Remember that a lot of companies están juntando HR con recruitment. Son dos diferentes cosas. Yeah, HR could do some recruitment, pero son diferentes cosas most of the time, right? So imagine someone that has a full desk. In all honesty, they should, when they make the job post, when they create the rec, they should have it in the system para que when you guys apply, luego nos manden a thank you for applying. We received your right. Same shit should happen when they review your shit and they decide not to move forward with you, right? Porque I've received emails, y'all, that thank you for applying. This job has been closed. And I applied for that shit like 5-6 months ago. I was like, when the hell? And I'm like, oh, see, okay, whatever. Pero a veces que no se puede, right? So that's why I'm saying, like, don't look into that a lot, especially too. I'm in California, especially if you guys are applying for state jobs, that whole submitted and active. Don't read anything into that. A lot of recruiters actually just do that for themselves, para fijarse cuáles application packets han revisado y cuál no. It doesn't mean anything. I have applications que dicen active in my cubby for the state for like 2 or 3 years ago. Nada que ver, so that's why I'm saying. Anyways, and a lot of them have been filled and mine still says active, so that's why I'm saying. Okay, like I said, a lot of recruiters no tienen tiempo to be updating every application they get, right? That's just the reality. When I was recruiting, I did my best to let candidates know when the role was filled, but not everybody does that. So refreshing your inbox, y'all, is not going to change anything. It's only going to stress you out. Ahí les va number 2. Aquí les va the second one. Limit how much time you spent job hunting. And I know that's going to ruffle feathers because anytime a new job pops up, ustedes quieren to be the first ones to apply, because I know that sometimes jobs si se cierran like, oh, we've been overwhelmed. The job rec was only open for an hour y se cierra because they receive a lot of candidates. Sometimes it's stupid. The system, no sé. A lot of the times, not all the time, but a lot of the times, son puros bots que aplican. And I know this because when I used to hire high volume for certain clients, nos llegaban hella fake resumes. Y también, let's keep it real, hay mucha gente que no pone atención. When you guys are applying for work, look for it, because it's the worst thing as a recruiter that would piss me off is that I would put a job post, I would highlight it. This is an on-site position, and I would be pre-screening to a candidate who was a good candidate, like they had the experience we were looking for, and they'd be like, oh, I thought it was remote. And I would be like, no, it's highlighted in yellow. And they're like, oh, so pongan atención, right? Anyways, so I get why people spend hours and hours, but at the end of the day, y'all, it's, in my opinion, no va a ser really la diferencia. Why are you spending hours applying to jobs, basically, right? I gave myself 2 short windows a day, 30 minutes en la mañana and 30 minutes en la tarde. And that's it. Or you could do an hour in the middle of the day, maybe an hour and a half the whole day, right? Because I can guarantee you that position, when you make a rec and you post a job, they're clicking on all the job boards, especially cuando trabajas en una staffing agency, y ocupas a alguien de volada, and maybe you don't have a pipeline, right, of candidates who might be available or a good fit. Because nowadays people leave jobs for a quarter, or leave a job because they're over it, right? So sometimes having a pipeline is hard to have, right? So si lo van a poner on Monster, Indeed, LinkedIn, they're going to have it everywhere. So you're going to start to see the same jobs over and over and over again. So that's why I'm saying, porque eso me frustraba. I'd be online over like hours and hours, and then the next day I'd be like, dude, nothing has changed. So that's when I started to notice. I was like, fuck this is just not good, right? Okay, ahí les va otra cosa. So track your applications if it helps you, but don't obsess over them, okay? It's useful if it's useful so that a recruiter, I can't even talk, okay? So it might be useful in in case que te hablen recruiter like randomly and they're telling you about a job and you don't remember because you've been hella applying, right? So ábrete un Excel sheet, ponle the company's name, location, pay, and the date you applied, y ya. Once you get a rejection letter, like a thank you, no thank you, lo que sea, put it in the column, y ya, leave it at that. Okay? That's it. The goal is to stay organized, not anxious, okay? And I want to share something that happened to me recently. A few months ago, a VP from a staffing agency reached out to me on LinkedIn. She saw my profile, and then the next day she requested me, and then the next day she DM'd me, and then the next day we had a pre-screen. We talked, le mandé mi resume, she loved my experience, just had me tweak little things here or there on my resume. Y dijo, I'm going to send it to the recruiter. I think you have a good chance, and this client moves fast. I said, okay, anything I should know about? And I'd be like, oh yeah, pues voy a Poland at the beginning of December, but that's really much it. I don't have anything else. When can you start? Le dije, I could start probably within the next 2 or 3 days. Le dije, I just need a day or two to literally relocate from the North Bay to the South Bay, but everything other than that, I'm good. But okay. So she sent me an email. I submitted you to the client. Stay tuned. I never heard from her again, ever. Y la vieja está hella active on social media, on LinkedIn, and like, we're still connected, and I thought it was hella funny. But I was like, okay, it is what it is. Like, she ghosted me, y pues no puedo hacer nada. And honestly, I don't lose sleep over it. I didn't spiral. I just thought it's interesting. Her being a VP, right? That's not a good look for the staffing agency that she works for, and it's a well-known staffing agency. All that trouble just for nothing to happen. I was like, whatever, it is what it is, right? Years ago, that would have stressed me out hella bad. I would have taken it personal, but now you understand that ghosting has nothing to do with me, and it's all about them. Están either desorganizados or the client se está poniendo sus moños. I don't know. I'm never going to know, and that's okay. Why do I need to know? Even if she were to tell me, I'm going to be like, okay, but what am I supposed to do, right? This is why I don't get mad at rejection the way I used to. We get upset about jobs we don't even know about. We don't know the manager. We don't know the working culture. We don't know the stress, the micromanaging. I know there's good and bad in everything, right? Pero no sabemos that stuff. So we don't know where we're actually being saved from. Y ya les va something that I want to share. A couple years ago and stuff, I was watching a YouTube video, and it was this Catholic priest. Don't click out of this episode. But there's a Catholic priest that's saying that que nos enojamos when things don't go our way, right? Like, por ejemplo, like, oh, I didn't get that promotion, I didn't get the job, or etc. We get like butthurt, right? But be thankful to God that they found the right person, and that right person is in that position. Y'all, you guys know what I'm talking about when I'm going to say this. A week later, 2 weeks later, or hell, a month or 2 months later. So let's just say, for example, you got passed up a promotion, or you interview for the promotion, I guess you could say, because usually promotions te lo dan. But let's just say, for example, there was a vacancy, and for you, it would have been a promotion, like the next step up in your career. You and 2 other people interviewed. Everybody did well, etc. But they decided to go. You were person number 3, and there was 3 people. They went with person number 2. And you're fucking pissed. You're like, I should have gotten that. This would have been so good for my career. Different title, me van a dar more money, etc. And you're like, fucking, you're pissed, right? Pasa no more than a month. And this girl or guy that got promoted was your coworker. So you guys were like in the same team and lo que sea. Y lo miras o la miras, a la morra o al morro, whatever. You don't even talk to them anymore because they're that busy. And not in a good way. Having to deal with the higher ups every day, having to have multiple meetings, make hard ass decisions, having maybe to fire people, to lay off people. What a blessing that you don't have to do that. But no lo miramos así when we're hella pissed. Hey homegirls, before you keep listening, did you know I made y'all a journal? It's a short, cute, 15 pages para que no andes toda confundida. See, un journal. It's called El Journal de Mis Life Shoulds. It's not a miracle fix. Let's keep it real. It's not a whole heal in 10 days type of thing, because let's be real, you've been carrying all this shit since you were younger. It's a small, simple tool to help you check in with yourself instead of bottling everything up. I made 2 versions, PDF if you want to print it and actually write it, like right inside, or a Google Doc if you want to do it from your phone. Think of like heal on the go, right? And girl, Si tienes tiempo de andar allí stalking your ex-boyfriend for 20 minutes on any social media platform, you got time pa esto. Y esto honestly, it's better for you. The link is in my bio. Now, let me go ahead and get back to this episode. You guys get me? Y hay veces que you're like, fuck that. Imagine having to have meetings every single day que me estén regañando. Why? For example, let's just keep it at the staffing industry, like example, a staffing agency. Que, imagínate que la pobre muchacho lo están regañando because the numbers are going down for the branch. But we all know at the end of the day, the manager can't control that. You can hire the best recruiters. You can try and have a pipeline and everything. If the temps are leaving, if the clients are being codos, that's out of your control. But the branch manager gets shitted on. Someone in the team is not performing. So what happens? They have to fire them. And guess what? You have to let go of that person. And that person had been there 15 years. Now you have to fire them. You're the one that has to give them that news. Imagine that. A lot of the times we bitch and we're not even, no tenemos the bandwidth to do what the other person did. Or sometimes it's al revés. You see them thriving and low-key you're like, ay, qué bueno, because I wouldn't want to do that. I wouldn't want to be in meetings all day. But sometimes we're so in our feelings que no miramos. So that's why I'm saying don't get attached to something que ni sabes el desmadre. Or you don't know behind the scenes of what's going on with the position and you're all over here getting butthurt. So just remember that. Anyways, I feel como que la regañé. Anyways, my bad. So let me go ahead and get back to what I was saying. Ya me perdí my little guide. Pues ni modo. Okay. So if you are in the middle of job hunting right now, I just want you to hear this. Apply, do your part, and then live your life, y'all. Don't let this process take over your whole identity. You're not your inbox. And I know easier said than done, once again, because cuando ahí están los biles, maybe collection agencies are calling you. They're about to repo your car and everything, right? And I'm going to say something too that some people might be like, fuck that, lo que sea. Sometimes you will have to have a bridge job en lo que encuentras un trabajo. And I know sometimes bridge jobs no te pagan mucho. Like, for example, working nights at a grocery store or working retail, because I know some people are going to be like, fuck that. I did my time already in customer service and retail or food serving. No lo quiero hacer. But sometimes, like, we just have to do it, even for it's a couple months, because también it sucks if you have to run through your savings. You know, I'm just saying that because I've had some random ass jobs. Una vez trabajé en un lugar de piojos. Yes, lice, quitando piojos. I worked at a daycare randomly when I was in high school. Trabajé, who remembers the Radio Shack, as a merchandiser when I was, and granted, I know this was a long time ago when I was in high school, but I've had like weird ass jobs. I did retail, when I was older too, and it sucks. I did a lot of reception work and that shit burned me out, pero a veces que pues ni modo. Like, I got to the point that before I learned to let go and just do whatever it is I have to do, right? Me enojaba because I was like, dude, I'm overqualified and they're not even calling me for these little reception jobs. That's how I used to think, right? But then I'm like, no, trabajo es un trabajo. And it is what it is, right? Just saying. You're not your inbox, you're not your application status. This is something you're doing now, not who you are. This is something you're doing, not who you are. Okay, there we go. That makes sense. Okay, so detaching doesn't mean that you guys don't care. It means don't destroy yourself over something that hasn't chosen you yet or might not even choose you, right? Until there's an offer letter, remember, y'all, it's just a conversation. And I'll make an episode too, if you guys want me to, of tips and tricks cuando esté negociando, when you guys are interviewing, what to do, follow up and stuff. I know there's hella shit that you guys can Google. But if you want, let me know. Y se los hago. Just go to TikTok and ya cuando these clips are already going to be up, just comment, hey, or message me directly. Because I can't, remember y'all, in TikTok, como no tengo 1,000 followers, I can't put links. So let's just say I made y'all a spreadsheet. Yo se les hago hella quick. I can't like link it because no puedo, I don't have 1,000 followers. Anyways, and if a door closes, it doesn't mean you fail. It might mean that you were protected for something that you didn't need. Real talk. So anyways, this was just some food for thought, morras. Like I said, I can make a part 2 for when you actually land the interview, because there's some things that people don't do that really matter. Even if it's simple, even if you've heard it a hella times before. What questions to ask when they say, do you have any questions? What to look for, y'all, cuando ya estén allí, if it's an in-person interview and you estás en el waiting room, in the conference room, or wherever room, because y'all remember, a lot of people seem to forget this. It's a two-way street. When they're interviewing, you're interviewing them too, right? And hopefully let's just say it's a panel of like 2 or 3 people, hopefully the person that you're going to be reporting to is there para que le preguntes questions. Escucha como él o ella contesta, que dice, because listening and hearing, do both, right? También cuando estés allí, check out the environment. Si están the front desk people, fíjate cómo se hablan. Fíjate if they work together. Fíjate if maybe one of them's talking and the other one's rolling their eyes. And I hate to say this, but it is la verdad. And I wish as women we stop being like that. Fíjate si las muchachas o los muchachos que están ahí in the front desk son perruchos. Anyways, I'm getting off track, right? Go ahead and comment part 2 on TikTok and follow me if you're not following the page. Or send me your questions and I'll do my best to help you. Okay, you guys, so this is it. I hope you guys liked it. Not bad. It's almost at 20 minutes. El otro it was more than half an hour. And I was like, no. Me estoy pasando mucho. Okay, everybody. And my heart goes out to anybody that's looking for work, that has been laid off, fired, lo que sea. I've been there too. I'm going to be looking for work in like a couple, 8 weeks or less. Not unless something happens and they extend me by like monthly, pero yo pienso que no. I pray for everyone. I pray for us who eventually are going to get there and stuff. Meaning like empezar a buscar de vuelta trabajo. Anyways, I'm going to let you guys go. Don't forget to interact on TikTok and on Instagram. On Instagram, tengo un follower and I know who it is, and bless his heart. Thank you so much. V as in Victor, M as in Mary, VM, for supporting me. You know who you are. I appreciate it. Anyways, I'll catch you all next time. Bye. Okay, what y'all think of that episode? Les gustó? Not so much? Did it make y'all ponder or just be like, esta morra no sabe nada? I just want y'all to feel seen and understood, not stressed out. Anyways, I'll catch y'all on the next episode, and remember, if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. By Henry Ford. Thanks for stopping by. Share, comment, and engage. Don't forget to follow this podcast on Instagram at the Gris Muy Muy Podcast. Go engage and invite other homegirls. Let's build that community. If you want, feel free to DM me for topics. And with that, I'll catch you next time. Bye.